Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you've all had a great week. Right, so the format of this webinar or videos is that we always look at how we focused the market in the last week, we look at how the market performed and how we forecasting the market going into the new trading session. That's the format that we're going to follow, and that's what we're going to do. So before we get started, if you'd like to contact us, please do so by going into our YouTube channel, that is Trading Waves. So under the description of all our videos, any of our videos on the channel, if you just open any of our videos, you'll find our contact details. I've just opened one there. So if you go under the description, you will find our contact details. That's the details. So you'll find the links to our social media pages, that is Facebook and Twitter, and also our website, trading-waves.com. Also the link to our Trading View, you can follow us there, as well as the Telegram channel. If you've not already done so, you can subscribe to our channel, give us some thumbs up if you like our content, right? And also hit that bell notification button so that you get an alert the next time we upload a video. All right, let's get right into it. Let's have a look at how we focused the market in the last week. So we'll start with the DXY. Let's have a look at the DXY straightforward. I've shown this one last week as well. How we looked at this complex corrective structure here on the DXY. Let's have a look at it. So this was what was happening here on the DXY. I'm going to expand it just now. I just want to show you the structure first. So we have been looking at this corrective structure here on the DXY, giving us this complex B corrective structure there. We were looking for this. If you look at the blue line, we're looking for this one to continue to come here, drop, and make a move to the upside. So this was the week before, not just the last week. So this is how that market has played out. So let's have a look here at the bigger chart. Let's open it up. Let's open the bigger chart here so you can see it clearly. So this is what we had in the last week. So we've already shown this one last week. We expected this to drop here and make a move to the upside. This was based on this structure here. It was based on the fact that we were looking at this one to be a complex B correction here in the green degree, 1, 2, 3, as you can see there, makes the complex corrective structure, drops here and make a continuation to the upside. As expected, that's how the market has played out. Let's have a look here at how it has played out. So we can go then to a channel then. Let's just have a look here. Right, you'll see more update of this one as we start with this week's market analysis. So that was how it has played out, and this is how it has played out. So as you can see, we expected that it will drop here and then make a move to the upside. Now, if you go to the DXY right now, you will see that we've already made a move to the upside. Let's have a look at the current chart. Let's have a look at the DXY and just look at that structure. Let's go to the 4 hour. I'm showing you that was on the 1 hour. So let's have a look at it on the 1 hour here as well. Let's just make here. Let's have a look here. So that was it. So this was the structure here. This is what we expected in the last week. You can see as expected, we drop here, and we're already up here around 101 level on the DXY. If you just switch off here. So that is exactly the structure that we were looking at here. Your complex B corrective structure here is still there. That's the corrective complex B correction here with your A and then a B and then a C, and then we push to the upside. Easy, easy, easy money there. All right, so let's go and have a look at the rest, okay? All right, so let's have a look here, the rest of the market for this week. Right, so that was last week, the week before. Now, look at Audi New Zealand, Audi New Zealand. Now, if you look at Audi New Zealand, look at this chart. This was October last year. October last year, we expected that this was going to continue with a correction, and it was going to go all the way up to 0.700, 0.0800. Now, how does the market play out? What we were expecting was that this one is going to do that and do that. So instead, we got here a 3 or 5 wave corrective structure here that is a WXYXZ, as you will see with the next one here. So let's have a look here on how the market as to how the market played out. So this was Audi New Zealand. Look at how interesting this. From October, we've just been buying. Okay, that is that. So you see here, that is the structure here. The focus was for this one to drop here and make a continuation to the upside. As you can see here, this was almost at parity at 0.103, and we are now at about 1,1, almost 700 pips from October last year. Obviously, this has been pretty slow, but if you've been following, you'll remember that we had another trade setup here when this one was making a three-wave corrective structure for a move to the upside. So here we're just showing you how we forecasted this in October last year and how it's going. This is still bullish. We still expect this to continue to the upside. All right, so let's have a look at more. That was Audi New Zealand. Let's have a look at AUDCAD. Look at AUDCAD. Now, notice how we focus not just one move, we focused a move down here and a move to the upside. Let's go and have a look at how the market has played out eventually after that. So let's have a look here. So this is exactly how it has played out. Let's clear this here. So as you can see, the focus was for this to drop here and make a move to the upside. And we've already done that. 2 moves already as expected. So that was the focus. Again, that was the focus. We expected it to drop to around, you can see it clearly here, this is 0.88 and then continue all the way up to 0.96. That's exactly what we have here, around 0.88 as forecasted and around 0.9. This is where we are. We're still expecting this to be bullish and continue to the upside. That is on AUDCAD. All right, so let's have a look at more. Okay, so let's have a look here. Let's continue. EURCHF, one of the interesting ones here. Let's have a look here on EURCHF. Look at that. We could clearly see this was a textbook setup. These are the setups that one should never miss. Clear blue box setup with an expanding flat, looking for this one to drop. How does the market play? Let's have a look at how that plays. So that was in a textbook setup, one of those that we excel on. So let's have a look at how the market plays out. Exactly as forecasted, this is what we have. And we're now reversing, we're making a move to the upside. But this was easy peeps. A drop simply because of this expanding flat, get a trade here, and we drop here. That is EURCHF, right? There's more there, let's have a look. So we'll go into more detail as to what we expect to the market going into the new year, not the new year, rather into the new trading session, right? So this one is Pound New Zealand. Let's have a look at Pound New Zealand. So Pound New Zealand, we expected it again. We don't just focus to one move. They move down and they move to the upside. So when we focus like this, we know that we're not just selling this, we're looking to start buying when we get to around this level, because that's what the sequence is telling us. That's what the fib levels are telling us, that that's a buy area. We'll be looking for a move to the upside. So let's have a look here on Pound New Zealand. How does Pound New Zealand play out? Okay, so Pound New Zealand, as forecasted, it drops exactly at the level that we expected. Buying area is making a move to the upside. We still expect a bit of a move to the upside. So we'll go into a bit more detail there, whether this is continuing to the upside or whether this is making a corrective structure. We'll give you that detail shortly when we start with the market analysis in a bit. That was a pound in New Zealand. Let's have a look at more. Pound CAD, I can't remember if I showed you Pound CAD before last week. So Pound CAD, we're simply looking for this one to drop here after making this 1, 2, 3 waves here in the Y degree. We expect this to continue down here and make a reversal here. How does Pound CAD play out? Let's have a look here again on Pound CAD. So Pound CAD, as expected, we've got a move to the downside. Now we're around here. Did we get a bounce to the upside? Let's have a look here. So that is Pound CAD. We've dropped as expected. Now the question is whether we're going to start getting a bounce here. So let's see here. We're waiting for that confirmation for this one to give us an indication around that area. That is Pound CAD. Right. Let's look at more. So these are all the charts that our members get before the market plays out. So if you look at the detail, I've shown you the DXY initially. So the DXY is exactly the inverse of what the euro does. So if you can look at this current structure here, this is the inverse of what the DXY was doing. So this one was pushing to the upside so that we can come here, push around this level, blue box area, so that we can drop. That is euro US dollar. And this was in just the last week. And you'll see that this was a textbook setup, straightforward, that you could not miss this continuation move on euro. Let's have a look here. This is how it has played out, exactly as expected, pushes to the upside and we are now currently dropping already 423 pips. Just this move in the last week alone, already 423 easy pips. So that's the money that we would have made if you've seen this chart. Okay, so simple, straightforward charts here. That was the euro. Let's have a look at more. The DXY is just the inverse. I've already shown you the DXY, completely expecting this one here. It's already made all of that move on the DXY. Look at how the DXY has played out. I've shown you earlier. This is the latest update on the DXY. As you can see, it drops and makes a push to the upside. 307 points already on the DXY. Easy moves. All right, so let's have a look at more here. Right, US dollar JPY. I indicated US dollar JPY last week. The yen pairs, we're simply expecting them to consolidate before pushing to the upside. So we have indeed got a three-wave pullback here and continuation to the upside on US dollar JPY. So the yen pairs have just been on a bullish move. So you don't expect anything other than just buy setups. As you can see here, three-wave pullback, giving us that red wave 4. 532 easy pips in just the last week alone on US dollar yen. So you can imagine how many pips you would have made, how much money you would have made based on your account size on those moves. That's the US dollar yen. And let's have a look here. Pound yen. So pound yen, exactly the same. We're expecting nothing but continuation to the upside on the yen pairs, as you can see here with pound yen. So the indicator was telling us, even if we're getting this pullback, we know that this will still push to the upside. So that was pound yen. Let's have a look here. How many pips does this give us? Let's have a look here on pound yen, the chart after. Let's have a look. You can see here, 643 easy pips on pound yen. And all of these our members see before the move play out. Okay, so that was pound yen. Let's have a look here. Okay, let's have a look here. That is pound yen, chief yen. All of them straightforward. Yen pairs, simple pullback and continuation to the upside. How does chief yen play out? Let's have a look. So I'll be going into a bit more detail shortly when we start. This is chief yen, and this is how chief yen has played out. Let's make a bigger. Let's open a bigger chart here. There we go. That is chief yen, 463 pips as expected. Pullback and a move to the upside. It's pulling back again. We're still expecting the same. Okay, we'll be giving a clear setup for members during the week as to where to continue riding the trend on chief yen. CAD yen also straightforward, simple. They were all simple. As you can see, this is CAD yen pulling back exactly the same as pound yen, pull back, and we expect a continuation to the upside. How many pips does this one give us? Let's have a look here. This is CAD yen, and that is how this one plays out. Easy, 350 pips on CAD yen, pullback and upside. How difficult can that be? When the market is trending this, you should not be losing money. I understand if you're losing money because the market is going sideways and you're not getting the trend. But in this case, this was straightforward. Okay, so for those that are interested in the cryptocurrency analysis, I will show you the charts, the forecast on the cryptos before and after as well. So you can look at for that on the crypto video. So let's get started into what we're looking forward to into the new week. Let's get right onto it. Right, so we'll start again with the DXY. We're still expecting the DXY will continue to the upside after making that corrective structure that we're referring to. We focus that this is still going to make a push to the upside. 1 or 2 is still very much possible on the DXY. Maybe I should show you why we're expecting that. Let me show you what this structure looks like on our chart. So this is a daily chart on the DXY. We expected this one. This is a daily chart. So if you look at this one, this is for February 20. We have been bullish on both on the DXY and obviously bearish on the euro because of this. This is what we're expecting. We're expecting this 5-wave move here all the way up to the blue wave 5. So that's why every time we get a setup for upside, we know that that is a bullish move because the sequence is not over yet. When the sequence is over, then we'll know. So look at this one here. That wave 5, now we're still only in this wave 3 in the blue degree. So look at this here. We only just started wave 1, 2. We're currently building this wave 3 in blue. The wave 3 in blue ends here. So we're still going to have a pullback. We're still going to have upside. So that DXY is still pretty much bullish even from here. So if you get a setup here for a pullback, we're still expecting the DXY to continue pushing to the upside. And that is why even here on the DXY on the 1 hour, what you're going to expect here is for a continuation move to the upside. You may get a corrective structure here. You may get a corrective structure here. It can take any form. It can even take this form here, corrective structure here. We're looking for this continuation to the upside. You've seen where that comes from. It's exactly the same as what we're expecting on the euro. Again, I'm going to show you on the euro. I'm not going to go into this much detail on other pairs, but I just want to show you the DXY and the euro so you can see why we have been bullish the US dollar. Okay, so the US dollar right now, this is a euro on the daily. Again, just the inverse of what the DXY is doing. We're simply looking to build this 1, 2, 3. This, we are currently on our way to that wave 3. We're not even done with it yet. We're still going to get that pullback and a continuation to the downside on the euro. So any continuation to the upside, you need to know when to enter, when to ride the trend. So we're going to enter when we pull back from that wave 3 in the yellow degree. So that wave 3 is what we're currently building here. You see here, that is a yellow 2. We are building that wave 3 here, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. We're currently in the 5 in the red degree. That is not complete yet. So that's why with the euro, even in this week, we're still going to expect the euro to continue lower. Okay, so we're still going to expect the euro to continue lower. So that's the expectation there. Even if you do get a continuation pattern here, whichever form it takes, whether it does this, gives us a 3-wave pullback. If it does this, that's a nice opportunity to sell it some more because that would have given us a corrective structure. Then we'll look for downside here because this would have been an A, B, C corrective structure. Excuse my mouse, can't write letters clearly here today, but that's fine. So we'll be looking for that. Any corrective structure, it does not have to be this one, but whenever it's a corrective structure, it's complete, we'll look to sell it. Okay, so for the rest of the pairs paired against the US dollar, we know that the only expectation is for this to continue to the downside. We're currently building this corrective structure here. This is a pound US dollar, so this can end up doing this. We are bearish the pound here. Let me just get out of the 4 hour. We are bearish the pound. We're still expecting it to continue lower. And if you look at the pound here, what we have is simply this corrective structure here in 3 waves. We're looking for this, but just in the bigger structure. And why we're expecting the pound to continue lower, let's go to the daily chart. As you can see here, pound, just like the euro, is bearish. So even if pound does push back up to around 35, we're simply just looking for this one to continue lower. US dollar CAD, obviously this is paired again, this is a US dollar. So you expect this one to be to push higher. So that's why 2 weeks ago when this was here and it looked impulsive and it was going down, we said expect this to reverse here. If you go to a video 2 or 3 weeks back, when this was here, we said this will continue to push to the upside. We've got a 3-wave structure here. This can push to the upside here. So up to this level, that is what we could get here. So that structure here, you've got 3 waves down, you've got an impulsive move here. You could get something like this here. This could complete the purple. We could get this one here, and we get a complex corrective structure here. Okay, more about complex corrective structures in our course. If you want to learn more about that, those are the most powerful corrective structures you can get to ride onto the trend. So this one is ABC. That is ABC, that is the structure here, and we're looking for this one to be a bigger WX. The whole thing there is the X, it's actually a complex complex X correction here, and we'll be looking for this one to give us a structure like this. But for now, we are currently on the rise. We're looking to complete that X. So we're looking for this one. This is where we are on US dollar CAD. So any continuation pattern, whether it's on the 4 or the 1 hour, we look to take it up higher as far as the US dollar CAD is concerned. So we're currently consolidating here. So we're looking for this one to push up higher. We can get up to this level, come back here and push to the upside, but essentially we are bullish on the US dollar CAD. US dollar CHF as well. Nothing new here. If you look at the 4 hour, we have been looking for this one to continue pushing to the upside after it made this 3-wave pullback here, breaks out of this structure, makes a continuation pattern, gave him so many opportunities to enter here. We're looking for this one to continue pushing to the upside. Now, if you just go again higher here on the daily, I just feel that you need to see why we are bullish here. Even though this is going up correctively, you can see here we've got 3 waves up, we've got 3 waves back. This one should push back to around this level. We have a blue box area here. So still pushing to the upside, possibly to around 0.95 on US dollar chief should push to the upside. Eventually we'll be looking for a structure similar to this here. We could put back here before we push to the upside. That is US dollar chief. Audi US dollar, very, very interesting pair. All right, so let's have a look here into a bit more detail, what I've shown you a couple of weeks back. I like the videos because you can always go back and refer to what we say here, and you'll find that what we focused here, 95 to 98% of the time, we get it spot on. This is a three-way structure. We spoke about this 1, 2, 3. Looking for this one to continue pushing to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can you see here a textbook WXY plays out, gets to the blue box, and then drops, and we're expecting this drop still. Be mindful again that when this was pushing, was giving us this structure, we were expecting that this would have completed here and was bearish Audi US dollar from here. But instead, it gives you a double correction. That's fine. You just need to anticipate these changes, whether it's going to give you a single correction or a double correction. But when the correction is complete, you know that you're going to get your trade, you're going to get your setup. Okay, so that's what we're expecting on Audi. You're still expecting it to continue lower. If you get an opportunity on the 4 hour, you can look out for that. New Zealand US dollar, exactly the same. Even New Zealand US dollar, when we were here, we're expecting this one to drop. We have been bearish, but we did see that this was going to give us a double correction when it made this move here. This one, that's the double correction. Now we are dropping here. As you can see here, we've got a textbook WXY corrective structure here, looking for more downside. Has even broken already this corrective structure. Look at that here. This you can get here is a pullback. If you're going to enter here on the 4 hour, at this stage, you don't have an entry. Look out for a pullback before this one drops, and target here. If we break this level, even lower on New Zealand. So Audi and New Zealand are looking very, very clear. Now, this is US dollar ZAR. With us, with the dollar being strong, we'll expect that the South African rand will have a bit more strength going back to around 15 area. And we know that this is also correlated to US dollar CAD. So we may get back to around this level, even if this is going to give us a move down again before a push to the upside. So let's just watch that one for now. Pound, yen, all bullish. The yen pairs are all bullish. There's nothing new that I'm going to talk about on the yen pairs. They're all just bullish. Since we got these corrective structures here, the yen pairs have just been bullish. So you look for nothing else other than a continuation pattern to the upside. Last week we were around here. We were looking for these to at least give us a sideways, a flat correction here before pushing to the upside. That is still a possibility. So if you see this one coming down here, do not think that the yen pairs are reversing. It may just be a flat correction, and then we continue pushing to the upside. That is pound yen. Similarly, US dollar yen, but US dollar yen has already broken and is already out of this structure. So you may not get this one here. This one can just pull back and continue to push to the upside because we are bullish. And if you want to see why we are bullish, just watch last week's video. Right, Euro yen, you can see Euro yen still has a possibility that it can give us a flat. But as you can see, we are bullish Euro yen. All the yen pairs are bullish. Chief yen is bullish, even if it's showing signs of a pullback. That's normal. We can get this one here pulling back, give us a expanding flat before continuation to the upside. I'm not going to spend time on the yen pairs. They are just bullish until we see otherwise. So this here is nothing but just a sideways corrective structure. We'll look for them to complete that structure. For now, you stay away from the yen pairs until you get a decent entry to ride onto that trend. So that's where we are. You don't want to buy here, even New Zealand yen, after it has made such a big move here from 76 all the way up to 85. That's almost 1,000 pips pushed to the upside here. Now, you want to buy after 1,000 pip move, and all of a sudden this starts doing this to you. So you don't want to do that. You want to wait for a clear entry. If it's still pushing up higher, indicator will tell us and we'll still trade that. Similarly to CAD yen, we've already got 350 pips on this one. You don't want to make a new trade here. Okay, you want to wait for it to give you a decent entry and for a continuation to the upside. Right, let's go to the commodities. This is gold now on the daily. So gold, this looks like a 3 up, 3 down we could get this one as a 3 up here and a push to the downside again, because that's what we're expecting on gold. We may get this one pushing slightly up higher, but essentially we are bearish on gold. We want to see this one push to the downside, and especially if the yen pairs are still pushing up higher, we are going to see gold continue lower. Let's have a look here on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, still showing us that we're going to see a bit more upside. Has not shown any sign of reversal. This is a continuation pattern on gold. We've got that is consolidating here. May still push up to 199, but we are going to expect gold to reverse eventually, right? So we also have, let's have a look here, silver. Silver will be similar to gold, maybe a slight push to the upside first before any reversal. Let's have a look here on silver. You can see still bullish indicators telling us upside here. We've got a pullback here. We may see this one push around this level, around 26.50 before continuing to the downside. That is silver. All right, so now where does that come from? It comes from the fact that we've got 3 waves structure down. This is the orthodox low for this corrective structure. We're getting another 3 waves up, so that 3 waves can get up to that level. Then we can get another 3 waves like that. That's how we expect. That's what we're expecting, that we could have a drop from current levels or a slight push to the upside on both silver and gold. So that's WXY. That's what we'll be looking for there. Let's give it a bit of time and see how that plays out. Platinum. Platinum is going to give us a bit of a pullback here, 1, 2, 3. We could get back to around 1025. At least that's what we're seeing here. 1025, we're going to get to that level. But then, is that the reversal or is it just a pullback? But what we're going to do is we're going to trade it only up to 1025. If it's going to continue up higher, it continues up higher, but likely that we see a move to the downside. Brent crude oil on the 4 hour, very clear structure. We've got a 3 waves down here. There's 3 waves down here, 1, 2, 3. We've got a pulsing move up here. We've got 1, 2, 3 here. We've got a move. We're expecting this move here. It's likely that we can have a structure like this on oil, a pullback and a continuation to the upside. That will give us a nice WXY corrective structure. But for now, we want to see this one continue to the upside to complete that X before coming down for a Y. So let's see how this plays out. We could get a structure like this, and then we see upside here on oil. But that's just a corrective structure there on oil. Right, pound AUD. Let's go to the pound pairs. Pound AUD is giving us a 3-wave pullback. You've seen this one during our trade recaps. That's what we have here. We had this one coming down here, dropping around this level. We're now getting this pullback. We should see a move back to around 80 here on pound AUD, but essentially this is still bearish. But let's watch it up until 180, then we'll see what we get from there. So just to remind you why we are bearish, we've been bearish pound AUD. That was because of this corrective structure here. We had this 3-wave, corrective structure here. As follows: 1, 2, 3. That's what we had there on pound AUD. That's where we had the drop. So this pullback is just that. It's a pullback. Can't even get there, but it's a pullback. We should see more downside on pound AUD. All right, so pound New Zealand, you've seen this one during trade recap as well. Okay, so after we've made this 3-wave pullback, look at this one here. This was a textbook setup. We had a move up here. We had a blue box area here looking for this one to drop. We have dropped and we expect this one to push to the upside from here. We could start getting a move to the upside here, but you need to wait for this one here. At least a 3-wave pullback back to around 95.2 on pound New Zealand. So let's watch this one here. Look out for entries in the 4 hour. Pound CAD still pretty much bearish. We expect this one to bounce from this level as far as you've seen with the trade recaps, but we need to wait for that confirmation. We forecasted that this was going to drop up to this level. We are at this level. We exit the trade. If it's going to give us another entry for continuation to the downside, that means the structure is going to change and we're not going to get the forecasted move to the upside. So it doesn't matter. We have already got our money here. Then we'll wait for another entry. That is pound CAD. We wait for other setups. Pound CHF. Pound CHF looks like it's starting to slow down here. We can get a bigger corrective structure here on pound CHF. Now, if you look at where this comes from, we've got this one here. That is a 3-wave structure here. We want to see pound CHF start pushing to the upside here. If that happens, we're going to have this one as a WXY corrective structure here. So looking for this one to do that. So you can see here, that's what we have, WXY corrective structure. But we are here now. We want to see if it's going to push to the upside. That is pound CHF. Let's have a look at the rest. Okay, so we're done with the pound pairs, euro pound. Okay, euro pound still bearish. Since we got that three-wave pull back here on euro pound, we're still expecting more downside layer. Look at this one here, giving us a three-wave pullback, 1, 2, 3. That's what we have here, still coming down pretty slowly here. We may start bouncing here or get a three-wave pullback here before continuation to the downside. We're still expecting downside. So another possibility is for this to have made a 3, rather to have made a 1, 1, 2, 3 back with an expanding flat, starts pushing to the upside, making a deeper corrective structure. Let's wait for the structure that this one is going to build. Pound Audi, rather Euro Audi. Let's go to the Euro Audi. We're simply going to expect this one to give us a three-wave pullback, but this is bearish, simply bearish. We're still going to see more downside. Even the Euro, it's simply bearish. Let me go to the 4-hour. This is simply bearish. We're still going to see more downside. So it's giving us this three-wave structure here in A, B, C corrective structure. You're going to see more upside in the coming week, but essentially this one will continue to the downside. All right, EURCAD. EURCAD similar, slowing down with 3 down, 3 up, 3 down here. We can get a move here like that. That EURCAD can start giving us a pullback and we get a structure like this. This is a nice structure for riding the trend to the downside if we get to this level. Let's keep an eye on that one and see how that plays out. EURCHF this week, we should see a bit of a move to the upside, although not so convincing for more upside. We are still bearish on the EURCHF. Right, let's go to the crosses. The crosses you've already seen, Audi New Zealand during trade recaps. We're still expecting more upside on this one here. Any pullbacks, see more upside, but this is not an area where you want to buy. You want a deeper correction than that. This one has been on a bullish trend since October last year, as you've seen with the trade recaps. AUDCAD you've also seen during trade recaps. Okay, so AUDCAD, expect it to possibly make an expanding flat. We've already made a move up here. Looks like we're getting this one as an expanding flat or a running flat. If it makes a running flat, that means it's going to turn before breaking the low here. But for now, we're expecting more downside until we see otherwise. Okay, so that is AUDCAD, AUDCHF. Okay, AUDCHF has already made its running flat and we're going to see a bit more upside in the week. 1, 2, 3. Expect this one to at least get back to around these levels. New Zealand CAD. So look at New Zealand CAD, still bearish. Right, a bit of a pullback here on New Zealand CAD. This one looks like a corrective structure here as follows. Let's have a look at this. A, B, not like that. Let's do it again. So we've got this one making 1, 2, 3 here. So that is a structure. Are we going to start seeing a bounce here? Or we're going to see a bit more lower before making a move to the upside. But this is a move up. We wait for this one to give us a structure here. So let's wait for this one. We need a bit more data. We cannot decide. It does not give us a blue box area. We don't have a clear corrective structure here. So let's just wait for more data on that one. We'll leave it for now. Okay, now this is New Zealand CHF. Let's have a look at New Zealand CHF. New Zealand CHF, this is a 3-wave pullback. Very likely that in the week, we're going to start seeing upside here on New Zealand CHF, especially after this impulsive move. Pullback, we can start seeing a move to the upside, but we'll keep an eye on that one. CADJPY. The CAD is strong because of the strong oil. That has made a running flat there. We've broken out of that structure. We should see CAD push a little bit higher into the new week. Right, let's go to the indices. The indices, we have been saying that this structure is not complete. 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. We're expecting 1, 2, 3 down on the indices to get a WXY corrective structure. And that's what's happening here. So you can eventually get a structure like that, a WXY corrective structure. So we're still looking for this one to come a little bit more down. That is the S&P 500. Now, this is the Dow Jones Industrial. The Dow Jones Industrial is not as convincing as the S&P 500 for a move to the downside. But we've got 3 down here. We've got 1, 2, 3. We're expecting that this will continue to drop into the week, and we're going to get, again, a WXY corrective structure here So we'll be looking for this one to come around this level at least before any move to the upside, and then give us this corrective structure here. Let's see how it goes. We may get this one as a corrective structure, or this could be the beginning of the big corrective structure on across the indices. The transportation, as you can see, this gives us confidence that the S&P 500 would likely push to the downside. As you can see here with the Dow Jones transportation, we've already made this strong impulsive move. We could get a pullback, but we're still expecting them to all make a WXY corrective structure. Or then that only then will we expect a move to the upside, making this corrective structure here on the Dow Jones transportation. NASDAQ made 5 waves down. This is 5. We've been talking about these 5 waves: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after the 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After the 5 waves, it makes 1, 2, 3. So it will not be surprising to see this one make another 5 waves to the downside here, giving us this is an A, B, C corrective structure before we make a move to the upside. That is the NASDAQ. Expect continuation to the downside. Expect that corrective structure to continue on the NASDAQ. UK 100, so the UK 100 still playing out pretty nicely after breaking out of this ending diagonal here, came down here in 3 waves. We now made an impulsive move here. So if we're going to get a pullback here or a corrective structure, that will be for the UK 100 to continue pushing to the upside. The DAX as well has pulled back, but we expect the DAX. Look out for this. For the DAX this week, should be bullish move here. We could be getting a move to the upside there on the DAX. And Nikkei. So the Nikkei, again, we have been looking at this structure. I show this structure week in, week out for the last couple of months. While this has been building since the beginning of 2021, we've been looking for this one to build. We've made a pulsing move. Expect this one to continue pushing to the upside. Okay, we could start pushing to the upside. On this one could make a W, a X, and a Y, and we look for more upside here. Expect the Nikkei to push up higher into the new week. And lastly, on the indices, we've got the Nifty looking for this to continue pushing to the upside. We've got a move down here, A, B, C corrective structure, A, B, C, as you can see here. We've made a pulsing move. Is this going to give us a corrective structure for more upside? Only thing here is that we did not break out of the corrective structure. This can come back inside here before pushing to the upside. So let's keep an eye on the Nifty. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for this week. If you like our content, please give us a thumbs up. And if you've not already done so, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification button so you get an alert the next time we upload a video. Drop us your comments with your input as well. Have a great week, everybody. Trade responsibly. Cheers. Bye-bye.